Good morning or good afternoon. Welcome to Jeannie's World. I feel very sad. I feel like crying. I feel unloved and unwanted. I was having a nice day with Miles, but I sent him away because he went on to his negativity tinter tantrum, which I cannot stand. You know, if you're totally negative, what are you going to get in this life? Nothing but negativity. I hate this. I hate that. It always happens to me. Nothing good comes my way. Well, I guess I'm not good because I definitely came his way. I'm feeling neglected by my daughter, and I think that's the most painful thing. She came today, but she didn't need to stay. I had these beautiful swans. I asked her if she wanted to buy them. She says, I'll take all of them. I said, there are 13 of them. She brings them back. I only need 2. Oh, my birthday gift looks great on your porch. It's not supposed to look great on my porch. I guess I'll sell it at the flea market tomorrow. You know, I know life is not supposed to be fair, and I know you always look for the silver lining. This morning, when I woke up, I was very bored with my telephone. It's always the same old, same old. When I'm out working on my land, I feel good. But when I get alone, I feel alone. And yes, I am feeling sorry for myself. And yes, I will smile before the end of the video. Because this morning, with my boredom, I asked my phone, oh, what do I need to know? And if this doesn't make you laugh, then nothing will. So, let me scroll down here. It's 54 things you should know how to do. 1, you should know how to start a fire without matches. My teeth are loose. You should know the basics of survival skills. You should know how to grow your own vegetables. So far, that's pretty good. Need to know. You should know how to swim. I'm amazed at people who don't know how to swim. You just kick your feet and you float. You swing your arms forward, you move. You need to know how to change a tire. I know how to change a tire, and I don't want to, and I don't have the strength, but I have AAA, so that's as good as knowing, right? You should know how to jumpstart a car. That I do know. I did it many times in my youth. Now I have AAA to do it for me. You should know how to code. I think you need to know how to cope. It says not knowing how to program your computer is a bad thing. I don't know. Is that important to know how to code? My son knows how. So is that the same as me knowing? I don't know. Whatever's going on to his life, he's not telling me about it. He doesn't even talk to me. What did I do? I'm just his mother. So sad. So sad. You should know how to build a website. What do I need a website for? You should know how to think critically, and question the status quo. I have no answer to that. Do you have an answer to that? I question everything. Don't get answers, but I question. You should know how to cook an egg. I told you I was going to smile. You should know how to cook an egg correctly. I think if you cook it the way you like it, that's correct. If you're cooking for a cafe or a restaurant, you should go to school and learn how. But for yourself, your family, I think you know how to cook an egg. You should know how to perform CPR. I learned how a long time ago. I learned how to do CPR in 2011, and now I forgot because I've never needed it. Thank God. Thank God. You should know how to balance your life. Doesn't time, life, self-assessment. When you wake up in the morning, you thank God you're alive, you have your plans, and you thank God you got them done. You know? Then you go to sleep on your grounding cloth. "12. You need to know how to manage your time. You know, everybody has a big problem with measuring their time because their life gets out of balance because somebody interferes with it. Somebody steals your time. You should know how to dress properly. Don't wear your pajamas to Walmart. That's not proper. Wear your pajamas to bed or lounging around the house. Other than that, dress your comfort zone and dress to the occasion. And most people know how to dress properly. You don't put your blouse on backwards. And don't button your buttons the first one last or whatever if it's all crooked. Don't do that. You should know how to approach and meet new people. Smile and say hi and let the conversation begin. Is it the weather? Or has she got a flat tire and AAA is late? I don't know. Just be you. Just smile. Everybody loves a smile. You should know how to lift your own weight. I wish I could lift my own weight. You should know how to lift your own weight. First, you go on a diet, you lose 100 pounds. Then you go to the gym and you practice lifting weight. What is their answer? I can't lift my own weight. I'm too heavy. Too old. But I might be able to do it tomorrow because I am getting more active. You should know how to remember people's names. I should, but I don't. But I remember your face. I remember the good things you showed me, and I remember the bad things you showed me. And there's so many people who don't remember names. To get someone to remember your name, usually it has to be an event, some kind of event, whether it's good or bad, that made an impression on you to remember a name. Most people we meet are in passing. And then we get on with our lives, and then we see them again, and we get so happy that we saw them, that we got to meet them again. And we don't ask them what their name is again because we are ashamed. Don't be ashamed. Ask until you remember if this person is important to you. They forget names too. Nothing to be ashamed of. Okay, 17. You should know how to give a toast in front of a lot of people. Wow, that's something I do every day. Cheers. How often do we need to give a toast? I think when you give a toast, you say what's in your heart. And if you don't feel it in your heart, don't give the toast. You should know how to negotiate. You really should. I'm not a negotiator. But the nice thing about working in the flea market, I'm meeting these negotiators, and they're teaching me. Some of them I think are really cheap. They don't really care about negotiating. They just want to get something for nothing. You know, you can't get something for nothing. And I tell you, those flea market people, they work hard and they earn every penny that they get. And I have to admit, some are greedy. But flea market people are honest, hardworking people most often. I have to say most often because I've seen a couple of cheaters. But it is a hard job. You should know how to detect a lie. Oh, I think that's very important. Going with your gut. Your gut always tells you when somebody's lying. When they can't look you in the eye, or they turn or something. Know how. Learn when people are lying to you. Save you a lot of heartache. This one I need to learn. I need to learn how to shut up and listen genuinely. Listen with concern. But sometimes I need to learn how not to shut up and not let people walk over me. There's a balance there, when to shut up and when not to shut up. You need to use discretion, and you have to listen to the whole conversation before you get angry. Because you just need, maybe you just do need to shut up. Some people don't need advice. They just need to talk, and they need you to listen. You need to know how to tell a good story. If I ever get into it, you'll find I'm a very good storyteller. So that I know. I know how to tell a good story. You should know how to defend yourself against a single or multiple assailants. I took a self-defense class one time, but when they slammed me on the floor, I said, that's too much, so I quit. If you're fighting a man, you go for the nuts. Not sure what you go to for you when you're fighting a woman. I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. You should know how to use your credit card correctly. The correct way to use your credit card is put it in the safe deposit box and don't touch it until you need it. Then pay it off all but $5 so the credit card stays current and it's a good credit rating. That's my opinion. Let's see. You're not supposed to use it for cash, for impulse spending, that's for sure. You know, if you really, really need your credit card, it's really good to have. But when you run out of money in your budget, you don't run to your credit card so you can buy that new nice dress you just saw because you think you need it. No, you got to save it for the rainy days. And then you have to keep it a little bit active so it doesn't go bad. You don't want to pay all that interest. With all that interest, you can buy that dress 3 times over. Know how to invest in the stock market. I don't know how to invest in the stock market. I'm doing Bitcoin. Not too good at it because what was the last time? It was $47,000 for one Bitcoin. I don't even have a piece of a Bitcoin, but I got 2 or 3 tiny pieces. You should know how to speak at least 1 or 2 other languages besides English. Florida, most likely, my second language would need to be Spanish. Texas, Spanish. Chinatown, Chinese. I understand a little bit of Spanish, can't speak it, but I can understand. I listen, but do I really need to speak 2 languages? I'm not going anywhere except to the grocery store. My doctor speaks Spanish. You should know how to make money without a job. If you lost your job, what would you do to survive? Let's see what this says about that. Jobs and paychecks are not only the way to earn money. There are other resources. Okay, the light is so wrong. So wrong. See how light they write that? Makes you think I'm really illiterate and I'm not. How can you make money without a job? There are another way, and it's not magic. It's not magic or lotto. It is determination. Investing in your own education and lots of sweat. That didn't really make very much sense. I see what it says. If you invest in your education, I invested in my education. I went to illiteracy of dropping out of school, I would say really in the 5th grade, because I graduated 5th grade and I went to 6th grade, and from there on it was down the hill. But when I was 25, I got my GED. I relearned how to read and write, Oh, I tell you, what was the hardest thing about going to college was getting what it says in here to paper. That was so difficult. And then I became a firm believer in essays. Get the mind to the paper. I had a very hard time, but I graduated, and I graduated in home economics. I have to say, whatever I do, I'm using my education, but uh, not everybody's that lucky to get their education and find a job. Whatever I do, I'm in my major. So that when you're out of work, getting an education is not on your agenda, nor is investing. These are things before you lose your job. Okay. I needed money, and I started selling things out of my house at the flea market. It's not a lot of money, but it's a job, and it gets bills paid. There's no escardor. How do you say it? Snails for supper. No champagne every night with my supper. But I got my milk. I got my bread. I got my eggs cooked correctly. So stop and think, if you were out of a job, how would you earn a living? How would you pay these bills? Can you cut grass? Can you sew? Can you clean house? There's so many things you can do to make extra money if you lose a job. Education is nice, but only before you lose your job. And hopefully you made a good choice on how your education goes. And hopefully you've invested, but you don't want to use up all your investment, because there's always rainy days. Life is definitely unfair. 27. You need to know how to manage your personal finances. I've already kind of covered that, where we can't, with our credit cards, just go buy a dress because we like it. We have to manage that credit card for our necessities when we do have those rainy days, when the car does break, when the roof leaks. Okay, 28. You should know how to draw. I don't know why you would have to know how to draw. It's important to flex the right brain muscles. Being creative in drawing. Couldn't you just doodle? Do you have to know how to draw? Or maybe you need to draw because you need to ask for help and you can't talk anymore. So you can draw pictures to say, I'm laying down on the floor. Can you help me get up? Oh, while I'm talking here, this sign. And let me do it again. Open, close, tuck thumb, then fingers over. If you ever see that sign, somebody gives that sign, they're asking for help. And you need to call the police. You need to call the police immediately. That's a new sign for help me, I'm in trouble. You should know how to be a responsible guest. That's common courtesy to be a responsible guest. Don't overstay your welcome. Don't drink all the milk. And lower the potty seat. And clean up after yourself. You should know how to keep your computer secure. I guess if you have a computer, not everybody in this technology age has a computer. But if you do have one and you have important things on it, yes, you definitely need to know how to do that. Mine just sits over in the corner and looks pretty. Because I'm going to have to get me a big screen so I can read it. So that's my next plan. Is I got 2 huge TVs, so I need to take one of these huge TVs and make it a monitor. I love playing on the computer. 31. This is really, really good. You should know how to navigate a map and a compass without a GPS. You know, GPSs can really get you lost. And if you don't know how to read that map, you're just going to have to say, I'm on an adventure until I get to the next town to find out where I'm at. I have a map in my car. I'll use GPS, but I don't rely on it. It lies. It lies. Lies like our government lies. You should know how to sew. You know, a basic sewing skill. You miss a button, you need to be able to sew on a button. You tear your dress, you need to do a whip stitch. Yeah, sewing is good to know, but if you don't know, ask your friend. They probably know how to sew. But like I said, if you know how to sew, that's an income, because you can get a job sewing on buttons, if nothing else. You should know how to travel hack. I need to write this down. I read that this morning. It says, once you learn this skill, you will never want to pay for a plane ticket ever again. Just type travel hacking. I'm going to try that. If you have any success in this travel hacking, let me know. Type in travel hacking into your search engine and let the fun begin. I haven't done that yet, but I think I'm going to. You should know how to buy a car without getting ripped off. Amen. They have these checklists that you can download, and you can go over the checklist, you know, and don't let those guys sweet talk you. If they're busy pushing you to buy, that's not good. They need their commission, and they're going to do anything they can do to get you to buy the car and promise you anything. They lie. You're like a used car salesman. Get your checklist. Know what you want before you go to the car dealer. It's really nice about Googling. You can find out anything you need to know about a car. Buying a car off Google, I don't think it's a good idea. You need to touch, see, and feel, because there's something wrong with that engine. You're not going to hear it over the telephone when you're doing your search engine. You're not going to get it. You should know how to be happy. When I started the video, I was feeling alone, depressed, unloved, unwanted, everything. I know how to be happy. I talk to you. I always look for the silver lining. You know, just because my kids choose to neglect me, and Miles is having a baby cry, scream, and I have to make him go home. You know, don't rock my world. Let me be, and let me be happy. You know, happiness is not something that's automatic. It's something we have to work on. It's an attitude. You know, we can sit around, we can complain. You know, it's okay to vent, But to constantly complain and say, my life is crap, nobody loves me, I'm not going there. I know I'm loved. I'm just feel it's raining outside. Rainy days and blues go together. I guess that's enough said on that subject. You should know how to fix a bike flat. That's easier than fixing a flat tire on a car. Do you have a bike? Do you ride a bike? Do you need to fix a bike tire? Maybe you have a little child in the neighborhood. But you know, that's another way to make money if you know how to fix those uh, bike tires. Because if you have a bike and you don't know how to fix it, you're walking, babe. That's all I need to say. You don't fix it flat, you walk. You should know how to have a conversation with someone of any age. That shouldn't be difficult if you have a good attitude, a good smile, a good sense of humor. You know, we can't please all people, but we can make people happy by talking to them and telling them things. You know, the little baby, the eensy weensy spider, your grandchild. Oh, when I was your age, I had to walk 6 miles through the snow in the windstorms to get to school. They didn't have buses back then. I never walked to school in the snow. I'm from Texas, Austin, Texas. It snows maybe once a year for one day, and everybody goes crazy because nobody knows how to drive in the ice. You should know how to drive a manual transmission vehicle. I think that's could be true. I don't know. My car is both. It's manual and it's automatic. I can't see where that's important to know. Just make the H. When the engine whines, move it. And be easy on the, don't pop the clutch, because you'll die in the middle of the intersection with some idiot screaming at you, get out of the way or I'm going to hit you. Let's see what we got now. 39. You should know how to back up your data. Do you want your data backed up? Is it necessary your data's backed up? If it's necessary, back it up. I never back up anything. I just delete it. You should know how to say, I'm sorry, and I was wrong. That, you know, that is very important to be able to say, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I spoke out of turn. I'm truly sorry. It makes all the difference in the world. Maybe they don't forgive you, but you forgive yourself and you feel better about yourself and you move on without any regret. Nobody said they have to forgive you. Just forgive yourself and apologize to them. You should know how to sing or play an instrument. You know, singing or playing an instrument is like praising God. I can't sing very good. I promised I would sing on my YouTubes to Michael. And I was singing to Michael, but he's been gone. And sometimes it's really hard to sing for Michael. I enjoy singing. Can't sing worth a damn. But one of these days you're going to check on me and I'm going to be singing something. It lifts your spirit. It makes you smile. It opens your lungs. You breathe deeper. It's good to sing. Sometimes it expresses your saddest feelings, and sometimes it expresses your greatest joy. Sometimes it's in the middle. Itchy catchy. You should know how to ask for help. That's number 42. I'm not one who asks for help. I should. I haven't really learned how to ask for help. It takes a lot of guts to ask for help. I have asked for help when I'm at the bottom of the barrel and I can't crawl out. And it's amazing how many people say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't want to. Maybe next time." A lot of guts rejection. But then you always know who is your truest best friend, or who's going to be your truest best friend. You should know the basics of how to repair a car. I agree with that one. You should know. You know, the windshield wipers out of water, how to check your oil. The cars are so complex nowadays. But know those signals that come up on your car. Know what to do with them. Watch your water gauge. Watch your radiator. Not always when you go get your oil changed do they check your radiator or top off your fluids and things like that. After you get your oil changed and they've promised to do all these things, go back and check. See if they did. And if they didn't, use somebody else. You know, we live in a time of great service. We need to give service back, but we need to know what makes our car run. The basics. You need to know the basics. Oh, 44 is for me. You should know how to control your temper. I'd get so mad sometimes. I spit nails and sometimes even bullets. It's very important. You know, it's not good for your heart to lose your temper. It's not good for your blood pressure. It's not good for your friends. It's not good for anything. I need to learn how to breathe and count to 10. It's a work in progress, I tell you. That's when, too, you need to learn how to apologize, because sometimes we're having a bad hair day. I know I walked up to cash registers and I'm checking out and I'm going, I'm in a bad mood. I apologize if I'm rude, because sometimes it's just so hard to be nice when just things are just weighing down on your shoulders and you just bumped into rude people yourself and you're up to here. You just can't handle anymore. I apologize before I even open my mouth to the cashier. So it's not their fault that the can of beans cost too much. You need to show your gratitude and learn how to write thank you notes. Please and thank you are the magic words. And sometimes writing a note, say, oh, I know I told you thank you, but you just don't know how you improved my day. Thank you notes are just icing on the cake. Always be appreciative. Always. It makes a big difference in your life when you're thankful for things. 46. You should know how to parallel park. If I see I have to parallel park, I usually don't park there. I go find somewhere else to park. I can do it, but it ain't no fun. I remember when I was 16 years old and I had to do the parallel parking in my driving test. I almost didn't pass. If I have to parallel park and I got another driver in the car, I get out and let them do it. There's always ways to parallel park. If you can't get out of it, call a taxi. You should know how to write professionally. That sounds kind of strange, but it's true. When you have a complaint, if you know how to write professionally, you can get your point out clear and precise. And there's none of this in between the lines that they can say, oh, you said it when you didn't say. So if you can't do that, there's services that can do it for you. But learning to write professionally, that is important. It really is. Sometimes it may take me 4 or 5 times writing a letter to get it the way I want it. First one you write is your anger or your what are you talking about letter, and then you go back and you just keep rewriting until you get it really done. And it's really, really important. Call your lawyer. And I think this is important. You should know how to perform basic first aid. You know, it seems like that comes up pretty often. Somebody cuts a finger or something like that. Always have your first aid kit in your car or close to you. 49. Know how to put together a basic emergency preparedness kit. That is good. And you know, sometimes they give you a list of what to put in there, but sometimes those lists don't really pertain to you. Get what pertains to you and do it that way. And you should know how to give a compliment. And you're so beautiful and you're so wonderful because you're listening to me. And I am a mess. But giving somebody a compliment can make their day. They may be feeling sad, alone, useless, and you go, oh, what a beautiful dress. Oh, I love your hair. Where did you get your shoes? Hey, that necktie looks great on you. Just simple little words. And you can do it in passing. You can say it to a stranger. Strangers like compliments too. Just say, you look so beautiful today, and go about your way. You feel good because you got to look upon their beauty and you got to share that you like their beauty, and they feel beautiful because you told them so. Compliments are wonderful things. That was 50. 51. You should know the correct way to respond to criticism. I don't think I ever learned. I'm my own worst critic. I'm my worst enemy. And when somebody criticizes me, even if their intentions are good, I'm wounded. I'm hurt. You know? I say water, and they say, no, it's water. Excuse me? You're correcting my English when you don't know how to talk? Water? You want some water? Or you want some water? You got wasted? Or what? How does he say it? Oh, I can't remember. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato. You know, I don't handle criticism well. And I don't like being corrected, especially in front of somebody. Because I listen to somebody talking and I know they're talking wrong. And then with my disability, I change my words. I pull words out of the air. See, I just made a mistake in my talking because I didn't complete that sentence. I pull words out of the air. If you go back and you listen, I didn't say that. We shouldn't judge people. And maybe we shouldn't give them constructive criticism unless we're a teacher and we're teaching a skill and a task. You know, God made us all different. He gave us all different cultures. We come from all different tribes. I don't handle criticism well. Maybe I should, but I don't. And if you're not going to take the criticism well, try not to look defensive, which is a skill in itself. That's a tough subject. 52. You should know how to you should know how to prepare and roast a turkey or a chicken. Why? Buy at Walmart. What does that say? It says, if you're a vegetarian, tofu. This is really ridiculous. Some point in your time in your life during the holidays, you need to roast a turkey. People don't roast turkeys anymore. We got people to do that for us. And if you don't know how to roast a turkey, just put it in the oven, 350. It'll roast itself. Just wait for that little pop-up to come up and tell you it's done. And baste it a little bit so it don't get all dried out. It's not a big deal. 53. You should know how to use Google efficiently. Stop wasting your precious time and using Google incorrectly. Learn to use it precise. Use it to build. Use the build-up tools. Just Google, and you'll learn how to use it correctly. 54. You should know how to crowdsource opinions for your social network. I like comments, but I was looking at this other one, and it said 10 things you need to learn how to kiss. You know, that's probably better than Googling. Learning how to kiss. You should know how to kiss. You should know how to hug. You should know how to. So many things you need to know how to do. This was a really ridiculous list as far as I'm concerned. But it did put me in a better spirit. I did smile as I promised I would. And listen, if you can think of 54 things you need to know, let me know. I'll be waiting here. Even if YouTube is bad about sending me my comments in a timely manner, but when I get them, I will answer. Love you. Have a great day.